let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Like, I just feel like a duck whose feet are like underwater and you just are moving slowly up top. Do you ever feel like you're just putting in so much effort but you're not moving any further forward? Like, you're just overwhelmed with all the things that you need to do to get to where you want to be, but you don't actually feel any better off? Well, you're not alone, because like, that has been me. I've been battling that feeling on and off. And in this video, I really want to talk about the things that get me out of that funk of working hard but feeling like it's hardly working. And we're going to talk about in this video how to find joy in the journey, how to persevere, how to be patient. And then if you stick around to the end, it will be my epilogue. Join me. So if you're new, you've never seen my videos before, I mean, I'm super new. My name's Remy, and this is my channel where I'm actively working to change my life, to build my life, to design my life. And I'm bringing to you in real time all the things that I'm learning, that I'm doing, that I'm failing at, in an effort to provide a diary for myself, but also in an effort to motivate somebody else. Like, that's the value I want to bring, to motivate you to do something different, to learn from my mistakes, so to speak. So if that's something that you think you'd enjoy, please subscribe, stick around. Let's build a community of people who are working towards designing their life one day, one video, one action at a time. So today, like I've alluded to, I'm literally going to talk about the overwhelm of doing a lot in an effort to change your life. So I'll insert a picture. I literally came home last night. I was super mentally overwhelmed, and I find that the best thing to do at those times is just to write down all the things I'm doing, and then to put that side by side with what my vision is, and to take me back to my why. I did a vision board for the first time this year on Canva, and I had done it after listening to a few podcasts, reading a few books, and it was like, this is your goal, but why? And the real question for everything you want to do in life is why. Why do you want what it is that you feel that you want? And in going through that exercise, when you write down your why and you align it with what your vision is, when you get stuck in periods of overwhelm and doing too much, it's really good to just write everything down like I did last night and say, does this align with the future? And if it doesn't, why am I doing it? Like, keep going back to your why. That is my advice. What is it that you want to do? What do you want your life to look like? And you're reverse engineering all the time. I want my life in a year to look like this. This is why I'm doing this. Does this task align with it? No, then drop it. Why have I picked to do this task? Is there a tiny reason? Yes. Is it important? And if that reason isn't important and it's not worth your sanity, then you gotta drop it, girls. Like, you need to let it go. And then it's about realizing what your goals are, right? So I've woken up today, for instance, and say I want to be a millionaire, which I do, but not today. And what are the steps that are needed to get there? And sometimes we just get super impatient. Like, I know what my goal is in 5 years, and I want to be living that life already. Like, I really want to be in that space already. But I need daily actions. I need weekly actions. I read the book, The 12-Week Year, and it really talks about breaking down and focusing on one thing really in one season. And ultimately that gets you closer. But the mind plays tricks on you. It makes you feel like you're not any further forward. It makes you feel like, oh, it's just never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And those thoughts will make you feel crap in your current session or season, because you feel like you're nowhere closer to that. And those are the feelings and the emotions we need to tackle. Those are the reasons why coming back to your why, coming back to your breakdown, having it all written down to remind your brain that actually, no, what I'm doing is working and I am getting there. It's just going to take time. And like, life is a seasonal thing. Everything has its time to flourish. Like, you can't plant seeds in winter and reap in winter. So It's the same principle in life, and you have to really be realistic with yourselves. Everyone is where they're at in life because of what they've previously sown. And you just have to remember that principle and apply it to the next season. So I went to med school. I was in med school for 7 years. And I remember sitting on a bench outside a library one day and moaning to my mum that I just wish that I'd chosen an easier degree, a shorter degree. This feels endless, yada, yada, yada. And I felt like I was never going to get that time back. I'm not. But that time sowed the seeds for me to be able to be a doctor. It feels like the seeds have bloomed and I've not taken account of it. And that brings me on to one of my next points, which is we have to enjoy the journey. I have forever lived in the future. I remember being in college, dreaming about being in med school, dreaming about the future, dreaming about what it was I was going to look like. I remember being in med school and dreaming about being married and having kids and having a house and being a doctor. And I live that life now, and I can hand on my heart say I am living the life of my dreams. I'm living the life I've dreamt and I worked towards. But every season that you're living and looking to the future, you're missing out on the now. And that was a trap I was really almost getting caught up in early last year. I was like, I know I want to have a certain lifestyle and do a certain thing, and I'm fed up of this. And what living in the future does, it makes you resent your now. It makes you resent the season in which you're in. My oldest daughter is 6. And when she was first born, we were living in a different house, in a different area, in an area that was like our starter home. And I didn't really like it. And I kept, like, I'd spend my days on Rightmove. Can't wait to move, can't wait to get to a bigger house, can't wait to get to a nicer area. And then we bought a house in one of the areas of our dreams, and we love it. And within a week of being in the house, I was like, yeah, but this isn't my forever home. There's another home beyond this. And it's like, Remy, just chill. Just stop. Just enjoy the season you're in. Enjoy every single stage, because it is also so fleeting. Like, it will come and it will go, and then you'll be like, oh, I should have taken stock. This is 100% a message to myself. Like, this is the season I'm in, where I'm building, where I'm creating, where I'm transforming, where I'm cultivating the life of my dreams. But this season I need to live too. I need to enjoy it. I need to make friends. I need to have a community. I need to be present for my kids. I need to be present in my marriage. I need to really soak up all the enjoyment to be had in this season so that I can get to that next season and truly enjoy that too. Because what will happen is you'll then get there and be like, oh, the next goal, the next silly milestone. The destination is not where the joy is at. The joy is in the everyday. It's in taking time. It's in appreciating that, yes, you've got a lot to do, but actually that's not going anywhere. So playing 30 minutes of Uno with your kids, or playing poker, or taking them swimming won't actually ultimately affect what it is you have to do. It will just make the everyday that much sweeter. Also just like feed your soul and rejuvenate you to do more. So we've got a holiday coming up, probably got 2, but I am so looking forward to it. Like, I'm like, no laptops, no work, just rest. That's what I want to do, just rest. And one of my last points is that just trusting that everything happens the way it's meant to happen. And I am going to do another video on this because, like, I just feel that, you know, like, God will make things happen in a way that doesn't really make sense to you. And that sometimes if you're stuck in a funk or you're just stuck in the grind, that you'll miss. And I've got a story to illustrate this. So, like, I'd read We Should All Be Millionaires, which I rave about in my last video. And I was like, you know what, I do want a coach. You know what, I think I need a black coach. Like, I think I need a black female coach who will push me and really just see the light that I want to share. And it was a holiday, I can't remember which now. And we took the kids to the British Museum. And then after that, we went to go and eat lunch. And we were in the queue, and one of our really good friends was there as well. And she, when we like went up to her, was acting like we'd caught her out or something. Anyway, it was just nice. We bumped into each other, had a chat. A few weeks later, she messages me being like, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm now coaching. Let's have a chat. And then we had the chat, and I was just like, okay, God, I see you moving. I see you answering the prayer I hadn't even prayed yet. And she was like, oh, I could be your coach. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was still a bit skeptical, because I'm like, this is someone I really know. We've done a lot of life together. Is that the right person to push me along? And then we had the first session, and I was like, you know what? Like, everything truly happens the way it's meant to happen. And you can so miss those moments, and miss those moments of divinity, because you're lost, or you're caught up in your own misery. And I want us in this season of building, of transforming, of trusting, to genuinely lean into that last word, which is trust. And trust that connections you have, people you already have in your life, and the way things pan out are how they're meant to be. So you could also read this in, like, you will often, like, you might put yourself forward for something and you don't get it, and you're feeling a little bit down about that. But actually, the reason you didn't get it is because you weren't supposed to have it. And nothing that is for you will pass you by. And that's one of my mantras. Like, it just wasn't meant to be. And sometimes, like, someone approached me with an opportunity. I said yes. And this is definitely another video. I need to learn no, and I need to have boundaries. But I'd said yes. I'd done the application for it, and then I didn't get it. And I was like, oh, is it because my profile's not good enough? And then I was like, you know what? Actually, no, it's because, Remy, God knows you do not need to be doing anything else. God knows that you need to focus on building and transforming. And that is not that role is not for the season you're in. And it's just about accepting that. And when you accept that, you move away from rejection, and you shift your perspective to acceptance and gratitude. And that, again, will help us in this season. So my epilogue for today is fairly themed to what we've been discussing, but it's all about being able to accept compliments. So I'm the type of person, you give me a compliment, my first thing out my mouth is why that can't be true. I'm like, it gotta stop. You have to accept compliments, not just for your own self, but also to acknowledge the person giving it to you, and to respect the person giving it to you. A few weeks ago I tried it. I have been trying it. Someone complimented me, and I just said, thank you. And I let it sit, and I smiled, and I carried on the conversation. No excuses for why whatever it was is so good. No talk downs, no regrets, just a simple old thank you. So that's my challenge, like, for all of us. In every situation that you receive a compliment, just say thank you and see what that feels like. It just feels nice, and we just need to accept it. And I hope you can too. So thank you for sticking around, hearing me reflect and project and teach myself things. And I really hope it's also been useful for you. And in the comments, like, just drop some gems, pearls of wisdom. And let's do this thing called life together. Let's build that community, and let's thrive.